Hello you guys, I am back with another video. Now for this first video, we're going to be talking about something crazy that happened in my life today. Okay, so um, about 9 days ago, I watched a prophetess by the name of Shantia. At first I was going to say, someone who just puts out words, but I'm pretty sure, no, she's a prophetess because she hears God, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so in this video, I'll try to link it down below, but you guys know I'm new to YouTube. But in the video, she was talking about how God told her she wanted to go to Orlando. She wanted to go to Magic Kingdom at Disney World. And God told her, go on this specific date, right? So she plans to go, but then she like forgets about it. And then her mom out of nowhere, she texts her and she's like, oh, I'm planning on going out of town, where should I go? Do you want to come, and where should we go? And in her mind it clicks and she's like, okay, let's go to Disney World. So they end up, prepping for Disney World, and I believe it was like something like June 3rd. Okay, so June 3rd, he told her, go to Disney World. And she was like, okay, that's just a random date. But, how everything played out with her mom, they got their tickets, on June 2nd. They were in Disney World June 3rd, like he told her. All right, so she was saying how, while she was there, everything was going, great and smoothly. How at first everyone was telling her, like, you're not going to be able to get into Magic Kingdom because, it's usually packed out, right? Alright, sorry, let me take a breath, guys. Y'all know I get so rambling, right? Alright, so, anyway, she's at Disney World. Everything's going great, except for, they say it's packed out. So they're like, okay, let's go to a different side of the park. Let's just go to this other park, because, Disney World has different parks, right? So she's like, okay, let's just go to a different side of the park, So they get on those, like, little Montreal, like, trolley type things. And, they're going to the side of the park that they plan to go to that wasn't Magic Kingdom. Okay, so then the Montreal brings them to Magic Kingdom, which is so crazy. It brings them to Magic Kingdom where they said was sold out. So they're waiting in line, and they're looking online and they're seeing that the tickets are sold out. So her mom, says a quick prayer, and she's like, God, let 2 tickets, be available. So, she said there was like 6 people in front of her, and then, her mom was sitting there, she refreshed the page, and then, boop, boop, 2 tickets opened up, and they were able to get in. Okay, so once they were in there, she said everything was going so smoothly, everything was, going, so greatly, right? So she said that they were able to walk through every single park while being there in Orlando, and how, sorry, I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay, so she had told her mom, I want to go see the Frozen show while I'm there. So, her mom was, asking people while at Disney World what's fun to do. And then, so this girl, she tells her, my favorite thing is the Frozen show. And then she was like, oh, I was saying I wanted to see that. And this girl, she makes a phone call, and she's like, oh, you want to see the Frozen show? So she gets 2 VIP tickets to go see the Frozen show. All right, so the whole message of her, video that day was, once you leave room for God, you don't make plans, for something to go exactly the way you want it. You leave room for God, right? You leave room for God to, work in your life and, do his thing, because God, is in charge of, like, the entire universe, right? Okay, so after this video, I'm like, that's so crazy. And the video is titled, I believe, The Year of Celebration and Joy. So after this video, she was talking about how, it's going to come about in a way you never imagined, right? If you're trusting that God's going to do it for you, it's going to come about in a way you would never imagine, right? So after the video, I felt inspired to, pray, because I know, like, this is our year, you guys. This is like us children of God. It's our year, it's our year to have peace. It's our year to, shine. All right, so I say a prayer, you know, and I'm like, I want to go to, you know, the beach so badly because you guys, when I was telling y'all, you guys, when I was addicted to weed, I was really addicted to weed. So every other beach trip that I've been on, I would always, you know, smoke like multiple blunts, you know. I would always go to the aquarium, you know, stoned out of my mind. You know, I used to think that was cool, you know, and trippy. Now that I think back, you know, it's really just, you know, taken away from my experience. So while I'm praying, you know, I was like, I want to go to the aquarium. I want to go to the beach and actually enjoy it for once. You know, I don't want to be running off, you know, and meeting up with a stranger and having sex. You know, I don't want to be high out of my mind, you know. So I'm praying about it and I get chills, right? I get chills and in my mind I'm like, okay, you know, it's settled, you know. It's probably gonna come about. So in my prayer I was like specifying, you know, like I want to go to the beach, you know. I don't want to have to wait because my family, we always take our beach trips when we do. We don't take one every year, but when we do, it's ever since I was little, it was at the end of the summer, right? So we would go the last week of summer and, you know, enjoy our time. And then we'd go back to school and, you know, all this stuff. You know, I would go back to sports. So it was just like a nice getaway for like me and my brothers and my sister. So anyways, so I prayed about it. You know, I get full body chills and I'm like, you know, it's settled. I'm getting excited, you know. I completely forget about it, y'all. I completely forget that I even prayed about that, right? So then today my mom texted our family group chat, and keep in mind this was 9 days ago I watched this video. Today my mom texts my family group chat and she's like, who wants to go to the Bahamas on a cruise? And I'm like, oh my gosh. At first I'm just like, okay, that's so cool. Like we've never been on a cruise before. Like my family has never been out of the country. Like I've traveled, they haven't traveled much, but I've traveled, you know, around the country, like the United States. Like I've been to Las Vegas, you know, Palm Springs, California, you know, Washington, D.C., and we've been to like Orlando, Florida. We went to Disney World one time. But anyways, so, and we went through like Louisiana, but that's not a part of the video. Anyway, so at first, you guys, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is cool. And God brings to my attention, you guys, when I prayed for this, right? When I prayed to go to the beach and be able to enjoy it. Okay, so then God's forming a sentence in my mind, right? And it was actually so funny, you know, I started laughing out loud. And he was forming in my mind, you know, like, you said you wanted to go to the beach, you said you wanted to go to the aquarium, you know, and enjoy it this time for once, right? So the way he put it in my mind after having that thought, he was like, oh, you're going to see an aquarium, a real life aquarium up close and personal. And, you know, I started thinking of, you know, snorkeling, of course, you know, and stuff like that. And I just started laughing and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, this is so crazy. So I bring the attention to my family and like they hear about it. And then shortly after, you know, guys, I'm getting chills, you know. I see 1111 on the clock.